Good evening, fellas. Everybody, thank you for joining in. We are ready for the start of Season 3. Hello guys in the chat, thank you for your messages, thank you for tuning in. Leave a like on the stream if you can, if you haven't already. And please subscribe to the channel. It will be a lot better for all of us, but we are getting ready now and the countdown begins. So welcome everybody to the moment you've all been waiting for. It's the opening round of Season 3 here at CSGB Racing. You join me here at the Bahrain International Circuit. Tonight we will jump on board with the F1 drivers for an 18-minute qualifying session, followed by a 57-lap race at a short circuit layout. And after the conclusion of that, the grid will be reversed and to run a 29-lap sprint race. So stay tuned, grab yourself some snacks and a big old beverage because we're in for a marathon of Formula 1 action in this opening round of CSGB Season 3. Will the same drivers of last season take the headlines, or is it time for someone new to put a name up in the spotlights? All that is to come, but now it's time for the qualifying session. Let's go. I know for a fact that we have a couple of reserves here tonight, filling in for some people who cannot make it, and I will get to them very shortly. But let's get this qualifying session underway. I believe it is going to be a high 157 or a low 158 for pole. I imagine a few drivers will get into the 57s as that is around the target time. But we are here for a 100% race, so qualifying is not everything. Anything can happen, and as you can see already, a few drivers have their medium tyres fitted. And we have a Williams down the pit straight already. It's that man Kazakhs looking to set an early lap, but he's behind his teammate of Vapor Cobalt, the American driver, looking to get his season underway with a good start. So it's now time to concentrate on what the drivers can do, whether they can take their chances early on in this qualifying session. 18 minutes for a lap that only takes under a minute, so the drivers should be getting a decent amount of laps in, I should say. And we will stay on board here and keep an eye out for these people coming round their final few corners as they're about to begin the lap. Let me talk you through the circuit. We have a 10-lap circuit here at the Bahrain short circuit. So with there only being 10 laps, it's all down to straight line speed. As you can see from the graph in the bottom right corner, it is a very, very straight track with 3 main straights and 2 DRS zones. So it's down to them to open up and get themselves down the track as quickly as you can. Avoiding other cars on track will have to be a thought in the back of each driver's mind. As we see Cobalt coming around here into the long left-hander. Turn 6 and then 7 and 8 as he brings it on to the second back straight. As he begins his finishing in sector 2, just in a second you'll see a split time. There you go, a 44. Obviously it's purple, he's the first man across. As he comes now to the final turn of this, well, 2 turns here, 9 and 10. As he comes to the line, what time is it going to be? For Vapor Cobalt, it will be a 58.4, so a decent start time there for him. And we'll jump aboard Kazakhs. I know he's the next person to cross the line. As he comes now, activates his DRS, because he's got plenty of DRS left, and he puts in a 58.8. And YOLO behind puts a 59.2. So there is room for improvement there for a lot of drivers. And we'll see who now is coming to the line. We see a racing point of PB Racing, who puts himself in 5th place. And there's lots of tyres coming in. We've got Jay Wizzy and Carwin's gone top with a 58.3. And James Dudley puts in a 58.4. Lots of cars coming to the line now. Lots of laps being set. 4 on the medium tyres. And there's really small raining in. So we'll let them catch up with each other. And we'll see who's coming across the line now. There is an Alfa Romeo. Is that Oscar? It is. Eklund's gone top with a 58.2. And Oscar's, his teammate, has put it in P4 for the Alfa Romeos. Is Netsky on the lap? Yes, he is. We'll watch him come to the line now. Sorry for the clicking about there and too many cars on track. What time's it going to be for Netsky? It's a 57.9, so into the 57s early on. But there's still a bit more time in that, I'm sure. Do we have another Haas come to the line? Is it Lisa? Nope, she ups the pit. Romsey is in the pit lane, but that must be JP coming to the line now. He's just starting his outlap, so we'll stay on board with him and follow him all the way around as more cars are going into the pit lane for some fresh rubber. It's a short track, so it's hard to keep up at the moment. But Zentricity has gone into second place in the Renault and with a 58.1, so just touching the edge of the 57s, but not quite getting in there. No one joining Netsky as of yet. Let's just catch up on these comments. Nothing. The chat is just talking among themselves as we stay on board here with Jay Prentice, and he banks the final two turns, 9 and 10, which all sort of become one turn as he fires to the line on the medium tyres. Where's it going to put him? Into 12th position. So the medium tyres at the moment not paying off. That to be the best decision and not getting him into the top 10. As you can see, no driver on the medium tyres in the top 10 at the moment, so it may be time to put them in the bin and put your soft tyres on. Anyone coming to a line? There is another McLaren. That will be Romsey or Roimsey. Not entirely sure how you pronounce it. I think he's finished. So here we go then. Coming out to the line. It is an outlap, I believe. So we will go on board with all these people pitting on their in-laps. Hindle dives into the pits as well. We have a racing point coming. It is going to be Timmy. Where to next? Reserve today, filling in at the Racing Point team. The now Aston Martin team, but obviously the game is last year's version, and puts in a 58.5, only good enough for 9th position, but still 12 minutes to go in this qualifying session as we see a Red Bull bank in the final corner. It's Tribe, and he is now going for another lap on the medium tyres. And behind him comes Yolo in the Haas. Oh, in front of him, sorry. Behind him, he is behind him. So we will stay on board as the two racing, the Red Bull boys are behind one another. And as Tribe goes a little bit wide and deep into that corner, he brings it onto the first DRS activation section and down the back straight for the long left-handed turn 6. Brake early or late, sorry, and get that rotation to get you out onto the outside curb. Pick up a bit of curb here on the left side and bring it round right and find your braking zone in a straight line just to hook out this apex down to 3rd, up to 4th. There is the racing point of Timmy getting out of the way after just saying his lap moments ago. But as you see, Tribe is 2 tenths down on the medium tyres, so will he pit or will he be able to gain it up on the final corner? He goes wide. He's looking at the pit lane and he will go down it as well. As here comes Yolo to the line, the Canadian driver. Where would he put it? It's a 1 second improvement, and that is 3rd position for him. A fantastic lap, a massive improvement. And I'm sure he will be happy with that, as it's James Dubby behind him, who's just starting a lap on the soft tyres. So we'll stay on board with him and see if he can improve from his 58.4. I am sorry if I am missing lap times going onto the board. There's so much going on, so many cars coming to the line very quickly. But I am sure I'll catch the right drivers at the right time coming across the line. We'll stay on board with James to see if he can improve. And I've been informed it is going to be a dry race the whole time, which you would expect here in Bahrain, in Sakhir, in this desert we find ourselves in. As I believe that as Kazakh's just gone across the line, put his car in 2nd position with a 58.1. Still no other driver in the 57s apart from Netsky, but I'm sure that's going to change later on as James Dubby brings it to the line. And it's only good enough for a 1 minute. So will he go again? I think he has. He's pulled out the first one, so he will go again. Have we got any other drivers coming to the line? We have a Ferrari. It's going to be Noah on an outlap. Jay Wizzy's just at a lap of 58.8. There's cars all over the place. We have a Mercedes coming around the final corner. It's Vapor Trench, who is starting his lap. So we'll stay on board with the Mercedes driver just for now to give us an idea of his pace on the softs. Will he improve? I'm sure he can from where he is at the moment. And let's give him the camera time that he deserves. Obviously, for this season, we have a new fuel setting and a fuel restriction on the fuel. So drivers will have to pay attention to that when doing their setups. They have 90 seconds to sort that out before the race, as long as their strategic decisions and their car setups, if they need any tweaking, well, what you can tweak from that. As we see Vapor go purple in sector 2, and he brings it up to turn 9 and turn 10. That corner doesn't look too scary, but there is time, a lot of time to be made up on that corner as he brings it to the line now and puts in a 58.3, which is only good enough for 12th position. Just look how tight it is between the whole grid, really. Netsky only a tenth and a half off as Noah improves his lap and puts himself in 13th. We have a few cars behind him. A AlphaTauri getting very close to the back of the Ferrari there. I don't think that was Rain Man, that must have been Netsky, who is going on a outlap now. So we on his fast lap, is he now? No, we're going on an outlap. As we have more cars crossing the line, I've got to look at the time board to see if anyone has improved. I can't see any chopping changes. The only one driver we haven't got to set a lap yet is Lisa, and she is on her lap now. So we'll stay on board with the Haas driver to see what time they can set and see if they can pull it across the line any higher than 20th position. But currently Netsky, Kazakhstan, Centricity taking the top 3, only separated by 0.2 of a second, so it's very tight, which you would expect on such a short circuit with very minimal corners. As somebody has just jumped up the grid. Who was that? That may have been that was Romsey with an improvement, but only up to 16th position. We have the AlphaTauri of Netsky crossing the line to start his lap, and the Mercedes behind him of Carwin Rob. So we'll go back onto them two after we see Lisa complete this lap. What time will it be as she crosses the line? It is a low 58.2, and it puts her in 8th position, starting at top 10, and a solid lap from the Haas driver. We have an onboard of Netsky then, down in sector 1. And looking to improve on the time, which I'm sure he thinks he can. As Centricity takes first position with a 57.8, so maybe Netsky's feeling a bit of pressure here as he is down in sector 2 as well, I think. But he goes purple, but still down, as you can see, only 0.02 of a second in it as he brings it round the final corner. Will he be able to beat Centricity's time from the split times before? But it didn't look like he will. But here comes Netsky to the line, and not to the line, he goes to the pit stop line and jumps into the pits. As we're going to jump on board with Carwin, who does improve. I couldn't catch him in time with a 58.1. So Centricity currently leading the way in the Renault. And that is an electric time from him. Only 2 drivers so far in the 78. We have a McLaren going quickly round the final 2 turns. It is Jay Prentice, who's 0.8 up on his lap. Here he comes in towards the line. Surely it's going to take him off the bottom of the pile. And it does. It puts him not just off the bottom of the pile, but a 9.9 improvement, and fires him into 6th position, just touching the 58.1s. And there we have it then. We have a Ferrari coming around the final 2 corners. It's Jay Wizzy, who is half a tenth up as well. So he will put himself up the position if he can hold on for the final 2 corners. Here comes the Ferrari of Jay Wizzy. What can he do for the Scuderia team? He does improve by 4 tenths and puts himself up to 12th position, putting Timmy to the bottom of the pile at the moment. The Renault of Hindle coming to the line on an outlap. We have another Williams coming to the line, which will be Kazakhs, who improves ever so slightly, which is not good enough to get him into the 57s, so stays in 3rd position. Oscar has just improved as well with a 58.1, but then only a slight improvement, and the slight improvements at the moment are the ones you need, as they are the ones that are separating a lot of the field at the moment. We have a Red Bull banking the final corner. Here must be James Dovey coming for another lap. It is 1/10 improvement, which is up to 10th position, and he was followed there by Mr. Prentice going into the pit lane. We have a Ferrari and coming round, who is in his in-lap. Jay Wizzy for a pit. Hindle is up. Here we go then. We're right on board with Hindle as he's 1.3 tenths up on his fastest lap so far as he banks turn 9. Does he touch any curb? No, he doesn't. But he gets a lot of exit curb, and that's the right thing to do. He gets the power down nice and early, opens his DRS and brings it across the line in a 58.2. So it's a 1.3 tenths improvement, but still only good enough for 10th position. But top 10 is maybe where you want to be, stuck on the soft tyres. Who have we got coming to the line now? There is a Ferrari. That will be Noah on his out lap. So as he is about to start his flying lap, we'll stay on board with him. Mr. Noah Jones in the Ferrari, the Welsh driver. Here we go. Now we'll stay on board with him as he fires it down to turn 1. Be as late as the brakes as you can. Let's see what point he chooses just before the 100 mark and gets it down into gear 2. Can he get a good exit? He does. Opts to keep it in second gear and straight to 4th. Nice wide entry into this one, a little bit of a lock-up, but nothing too drastic. And he fires it down nice and wide and opens his DRS coming out of Sector 1. It's a very slight down on his time, but that could be easily improved through this section here, Sector 2, which is very technical and very much about where you place your car and where you swing it in. As we will get a split time halfway down the next straight. But he seems to have nailed that. Can he keep it in limits? Yes, he can. Will he be up? Will he be down? He's up. There you go. That's what I was saying. That turns 6, 7 and 8. You can make up a lot of time as he comes into turn 9 and turn 10 for the final push towards the line. It's Noah Jones. Will he put it any higher up on the grid? He does improve by 1.8 tenths and he puts himself into 11th position. So the Ferrari there of Noah Jones taking 11th position. Anyone else towards the line? We have a couple of Haas drivers looking to be setting themselves up, and indeed we do. It's YOLO behind his teammate of Lisa, who Lisa is about to start a flying lap, but we'll jump on board with her as she does that and follow the 2 Haas drivers across the line as they set their times. No one is on a flying lap apart from these 2 at the moment, so we'll stay on board with the Canadian, see if he can improve his time at all. Sorry, this is not Canadian, this is Lisa. Lisa is from Sweden, just like a lot of the grid in this year's F1 division. Let's bring it round the tricky Sector 2, waiting for the split time on the straight. But that is invalidation, as you can see, the map's gone red. She pulls out the way, and only now we'll jump on board with YOLO to see if he can improve from 4th position, but he's 3 tenths down. I'm sure he's not going to find that space in the space of 2 corners, and I wouldn't be surprised to see pull into the pit lanes, but he's still going to go for a lap. Will he improve? No, he will not. Stays 4th position for now, as the drivers, I imagine, are setting themselves up for their fastest lap as Romsey calls it day there as the McLaren driver opts to retire, and that is his qualifying session over. We'll stay on board with Timmy now as he comes to the line to start his lap. Currently sat bottom of the grid. Will he improve? He's got the pace to. I know he does. He knows he does. So we'll see what he can do. See if he can improve from a 58.5, but he is a reserve driver, so may not have been expected to be called upon this early into the season for round 1. Still only got 2 drivers in the 57s. But here comes Timmy. Up to turn 8. Will he flick it in? Will he be able to keep it nice and tight to make up a lot of time here? Up to 4th gear. He runs a little bit wide, and that may compromise his exit down this straight as we approach turn 9. As you can see there, slightly down this time. You can make up a lot of time on this corner if you get it right. Takes 2 turns in it, and there you go. That second turn unfortunately unsettles the car, and we'll jump on board with the Renault. It's Centricity ahead of his teammate Hindle. Centricity looking to improve. Can he extend his gap at the top of the qualifying leaderboards as the clock has ticked down to 0? He does improve by the tiniest bit and extends his time at the top. Where's Netsky then? He is up on his time, but ever so slightly. He needs to find a little bit more than that. We'll stay on board with this to see if he can still pole position the favourite at the moment. The favourite from the start. The last 2-year champion, or maybe even 3. But as you can see, Netsky's 1.1 tenth up. Is he going to steal pole position at the very last second? Let's wait and see. As Oscar enters the 57th as well and puts himself in 3rd position. Sorry I missed that, but he has taken it and put himself in the 57th. But here comes Netsky to the line and takes pole position. Were you in any doubt? I never was. He takes it a 57.7. That is an absolutely rapid lap from the Swedish driver. And he is starting how he means to go on. As Ekelund came across the line there and improved by a 10th. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is qualifying done. 3 cars into the 57 seconds. A couple of cars were just outside, but look at the split times. Every single car within 8 tenths of one another. It's a fantastic qualifying session from the lads. And the lady, of course. And that brings everyone to the end of qualifying as we wait for Vapor Trench to put a end to it. And there you go, he has retired. And now I will run you through the order as it comes to us. I'll just take the comments now. What is the weather for the race? I have been informed that it is dry the whole time. And Centricity has always told you that. But here we have the order then for qualifying. It's Netsky on pole as usual, but only 500ths behind Centricity, followed by Oscar, Kazakhs, Ekelund, Vapor Trench, YOLO, Ferrari obviously, Jay Wizzy, Carwin, Jay Prentice, Vapor Cobalt, PB Racing, Hindle, Noah Jones, James Dovey, Lisa Tyboni, Roymsey, Tribe, CSGB Rayman, and bring up the rear was Timmy. Where to next? Yes, so now this is where it comes important to the drivers. You must put your fuel settings on the look at the rules and remember to put the right amount of fuel happens. You need to now wait for CSGB Rayman to ready up, and that will indicate the time for when the other drivers can ready up, giving themselves only a 90-second window to sort out their fuel systems and strategies, which allows the race to get on with quicker, but also allows a bit more of a realistic feel as the fuel will be a challenge for all the drivers. But as we now look forward to the 100% distance here at the Bahrain circuit, of course, it being a short track, there is a 57 laps now. And with the lap times around the minute mark, that will be, with stops, about a 1-hour race. So it will be very enjoyable, a long, long marathon. But that's not the only action we've got tonight. It's followed by a 29-lap sprint race around this 10-turn circuit. So the soft tyres are expected to go for 26 laps according to the data I have in front of me. The mediums for 33 laps and the hards for 40. But I did get some idea yesterday from some of the guys who were practicing that the mediums did go on for 40 themselves. So it's all about time management, who can eke the best out of their chosen compound and who can take the fastest route to the line. It's going to be interesting, it's going to be intriguing, and hopefully you guys are going to enjoy it too. Thank you all for tuning in at the moment so far. It's very, very, very good to see this many people in at this amount of time, and thank you for all those people that have subscribed as well. It's much appreciated. Please leave a like if you are new, and we have a few people readying up. I'm not entirely sure what's happened here. There we go, that makes sense, because CSGB Rayman has readied up, which means we're waiting for everyone. And the lights are out, so we are ready for the formation lap. And I will scroll through each driver here. I apologise if you can hear something in the background. That is an alarm going off. And you love to see it. So we have Netsky, followed by Zentricity in the Renault. Oscar is currently in 3rd. Kazakhs taking 4th. The Alfa Romeo sandwich he is in between is followed at the rear by Eklund. Vapor Trench pulls up 6th position. YOLO, the Canadian, takes 7th. Jay Wizzy fully in today as a reserve for the missing Boas, who take 8th. Carwin Rob, the winner of the first pre-season race and did a very good job indeed in the second, takes 9th position. Jay Prentice in 10th. We have Vapor Cobalt in 11th. We have PB Racing in 12th. Hindle 13th. Noah Jones in 14th. James Dovey, last season's F2 runner-up, in 15th. Lisa Tyboni in 16th. Romsey in 17th. Tribe 18th. CSGB Rainman, the boss man himself, starting on the medium tyres, as is Timmy Ware, 2 next behind him. So there you are. That is the full grid lineup for you. And there you can see the fastest strategical option is a one-stop of the soft medium tyres. I am trying to get up the right things here. And there we go then, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the bottom 10 choosing medium tyres. The only person in that little cluster is Lisa, who has been disqualified from the formation lap, which is brilliant to see. We have some fans of the Alfa Romeo boys in the comments. Timmy has some fans as well. But here we go then. The clutches are engaged. The lights are coming on. We are ready for the opening round of the season here at Bahrain. And we're off. We're underway. It looks like Zentristi's got a better start on the inside line. And I'll tell you what, they're banging wheels already. Will he get past it? Looks like he has, according to the telemetry times. And Zentristi in the Renault gets inside line on the Alpha Tari and takes the lead of the Bahrain Grand Prix. So a fantastic start from him. Hindle's already got a penalty. I'm not sure what's happening in the back here, but it seems to be clean. But Netsky's got some jobs to do now. Has there been other chopping, changing in positions? Let me just check on that. We will see our position change. So Netsky dropped 1 down. Kazakhs has made a move on Oscar. As we jump on to now Sector 2, we can see PB Racing up 3 positions. And CSGB Rainman's made 6 up from the back. So a fantastic start for him into turn 1. We're getting message of Tom Ubottle as Zentristi brings us now down the second to last straight into turn 9. And here we go then. Zentristi will complete lap 1 as the leader of this race. Netsky right behind him, as is Kazakhs and Oscar. And Oscar's got the position back as Kazakhs has gone for a move now on... What's happened here? I don't know what's happened. The timing board's all messed up. And you've got to love Codemasters for that. But it's tight down the inside. The Williams, the Mercedes going down the inside, but let's let the Ferrari through of Jay Wizzy, who has taken a position of Vapor Trench. Vapor Trench just lost a couple of positions there, I think, in a couple of corners. And Eklund and Oscar have both dropped down a couple of positions. But here we go then. I don't know what's going on at the front of this grid. I can't find the right camera angle to be in. Zentristi is still leading, as you can see. Netsky quite close behind. It's down to the drivers to handle the race. It's a long one. And that penalty for Hindle so far is not going to be the most ideal. As you can see, PB Racing making the medium tyres work for him. Are there any moves happening? And no one's particularly close. It's a big old long train, so Dirty is going to kick in. As you can see, Zentristi just finding it hard there, keeping the tyres to stay unlocked. And do we have a pitter? No, we don't, not yet. We have a bit of a gap, though, forming back here with Carwin. Oh, we have had some people pit, so there's been damage. Carwin has gone to the hard tyres to hopefully go to the end of the race. He's asking for 54 laps from them. James Dovey also, and Timmy and Romsey going for the medium tyres. So clearly a collision there. But still no chopping and changes at the start. This massive, long train of drivers. Just no one looking to make a move as of yet. Buying their time. As we scroll through now, YOLO not close enough. Neither is PB and Vapor Cobalt as Jay Prentice for company. And Lisa's all over the back of Jay Prentice here. Will she be able to make a move into turn 8? No, she won't, but will she be able to get the exit on him? We'll stay on board. A little gap forming now behind to CSGB Rainman, just over a second. And that's showing the pace difference of the medium tyres compared to the softs. But Lisa not close enough now as DRS will be enabled this lap. Slowly closing in is no one making a move as Jay Wizzy sets the fastest lap so far. No one's making a move ahead. This is the closest battle we've got. Lisa looking down the inside. Jay Prentice defending. and it's early on the race, and no moves are being made unless she should go around the outside. Jay Prentice gives it the squeeze, and unfortunately she cannot make the move done. But we're going to PB racing here. How many positions has he made up? 3 so far, so making the medium tyres work. Looking for the reverse strategy here is, of course, soft medium, but he is starting on the medium tyres after starting in the bottom 10. Jay Wizzy seems to be close on the back of the front pack here. Will he be able to make a move with DRS? But as you can see, Kazac's running wide there, so a bit of understeer for him. Jay Wizzy very close now. Will he be able to get the exit? Got to put a lot of pressure under Oscar. Vapor Trench will take a bit of help from that contact. But here we go then. Is he close to make a move? And early, but he's got the exit all over. Oscar, maybe there's quicker front wings. He's going to make a move into turn 1. The Ferrari driver, as you see the Williams pulling out, and the Mercedes going to try and go down the inside as well. And Jay Wizzy takes the position. Can he get him on the switchback though? Yes, he can. Oscar, no. And down the inside goes Jay Wizzy and takes the position. And you tell you what, Vapor Trench is going to get through as well. And yes, he does. So that's 2 positions dropped by Oscar Sandblom, into 2 corners. And that is unfortunate for him as he drops down to 6th position. But I'm sure they're going to fight back, as up front is getting very close between these front 3. As you can see, Lisa and Jay Prentice also fighting at the back of the grid. These 2 are side by side. A little bit of choppy and changing there as James W, you can see below, gets past Carwin Rob. But not close enough now. As you can see, Kazakhs is slowly closing in on Netsky. They're not going to wait for a move. Will he wait for the DRS? We will stay on board here. It's all light, it's all action in these first few laps of this race. As you can see now, Kazakhs looking to make a move on Netsky. Or is Netsky looking to make a move on Zentricity? And I'll tell you what, he's done it early. He's done very well there and gets the move done. And Zentricity has now got to look to try and fight back. But Netsky has stolen the lead of this race. He bought his time for a few laps there, but he's now in the lead of the race. Taking pole position, he has returned back to where he was starting this race. As you can see, there's a Ferrari spinning off there. I saw that in the distance. It's Jay Wizzy. What's happened here? He's been knocked off. Has he been contact there? Or was he just simply too early on the throttle? The Ferrari boy has dropped now behind his teammate Noah Jones. And after such a good start from Jay Wizzy, he has dropped positions. As Lisa, has she finally got past Jay Prentice? No, Jay Prentice is there, and Jay Prentice has dropped the car and lost his front wing. Unfortunately for him, he has got in a tangle with Lisa, and Lisa has taken that position. Was there contact? I'm not sure. It's quite easy to lose the car around there, but that has opened up a gap between Lisa and the top 10. But as you can see there, Lisa has lost an end plate, so that means she needs to repair the car. And as you can see, jumping straight into pit lane, that will give positions to CSGB. That will give positions to Tribe and Noah Jones. So Jay Prentice and Lisa both in the pit lane as it becomes very close in this midfield. Jay is a big bottle. Indeed. As we see some choppy and changing here, Tribe has got past CSGB Rainman and will take 10th position, but it's a big fight here. Noah Jones is going to get involved as well. You can see the 2 in front of him fighting. Rainman fights the position back round the outside of Tribe and does the job very well to complete that one as well. But as you can see, James W clawing his way back through the field. It's going to be tight for a lot of this race. As you can see at the front, there's a bit of gap now forming between Vapor Trench and Kazakhs. These front 3 are going to be feeling the effects of this, the effects of the dirty air around this track. Zentricity now looking to take a move back on Netsky into turn 1. He's already passed this Swedish driver, and Zentricity gets down the inside of turn 1. And will he be able to hold a position into turn 2 and 3? Yes, he will. So Zentricity back in the lead of this Grand Prix. Lovely move from the British driver there, and has already pulled out a half a second gap to Netsky, but Netsky has got DRS, so we'll stay there with them. But all this farting ahead will surely be encouraging for Kazakhs, and hope that he can come on the end of a mistake. But as you can see, the field is still very, very close to each other. A massive DRS train here all the way back to 8th position. And then there's another one formed from 8th position. Well, sorry, 11th position down to 12. So there's some tight battles going on as Zentricity gets another lockup, but he's 7/10 clear. I don't think Netsky is going to be close enough to make a move into turn 1 this time. as Entrusty sets the fast lap, nearly a 1 minute one within the 1 minute. But the DRS is helping Netsky then pull in to the back of Zentricity in the Renault. No other moves are being made further back, but I can tell you that Noah Jones is making a move for 10th position. He's going to leave it down the inside. Rainman gives him some room, and Noah just hasn't got the rotation to get down the inside, as Tribe has dropped back as well. So will Noah come back at these two down this straight? I doubt it. I doubt it very much indeed. So we have a little battle for first between three drivers. Between there and 9th place, it is a little bit spread out, but these three here giving us some absolute brilliant action as well. Jay Wizzy looking to recover after his mistake, and Hindle with the penalty is just sat slowly waiting for things to unfold in front of him. And then you've obviously got a big gap to the drivers behind from Lisa backwards, the pitters, the early pitters from damage. It's going to be a long road back to the points for them. As we see, jump on board with the front runners is Netsky going back down the inside again. You bet, he locks up, but that gives Zentricity the outside line and the position of P1 back. Netsky not close enough to make a move, can't make it stick. A little lock-up has cost him there, but that has allowed all these drivers here back into the mix. Oscar, after dropping down, has slowly picked up a few more positions, got back past YOLO and PB Racing, it seems. It's very close indeed still. And they approach turn 8 for lap 10 of this Grand Prix. Still a long way to go, as Carwin, Rob and James Dovey are fighting a lot at the back. Carwin showed great pace in pre-season, the two guys here on the hard tyres. And these two are topping and changing, and James Dovey has a penalty as well, which is unfortunate for him, but there's a long race to go, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of time for other people to pick up penalties. And Netsky, is he going to send it for another time? You bet. Will he make it stick this time? He won't. Will he learn from his mistakes? Of course he will. Car number 13 sends it into position number 1, as Kazakhs and Zentricity look to get very close there, as Zentricity seems to get a very good exit. So will he be able to make a move into turn 6? I don't think it's going to be the best place to make a move, so he will probably wait. And like I say, he does, and tries to get the toe down the back straight to get the position back. But that is like about 5-6 times now they've chopped and changed, and Kazakhs is very close to the back of Zentricity, putting himself under a lot more pressure than Zentricity is under Netsky. And Vapor Trent isn't close enough to make a move. We have a yellow flag. That is a McLaren in the wall nearly. Is that wing damage? No, it's not. It must have been a massive outbraking of himself from Jay Prentice. So the start to the season has been a horrid one for the McLaren boys. Currently sat in 19th and 20th position. They need to fight back as much as they can, as we see some action going on behind. There is a very long train now, all the way back to 8th position. Noah Jones is trying to get past CSGB Rainman, and I tell you what, he's done it, of course, into turn 1. The favoured overtaking place for a lot of cars, but that's just going to cause a back up towards Tribe and Noah, Jay Wizzy, sorry. Noah is, of course, the car we are on board with. And there seems to be a lot of clustering going on around the final turn. Will the Red Bull be able to make a move? The Red Bull of James Dovey, of course. Carwin moves across, defends the middle of the track. Could have been done a little bit more just to defend the inside line, but it's not going to be effective, as James Dovey does stay behind. But Carwin chose the middle of the track to defend, and I'm not going to lie, the cars are coming up to a lapping at the moment, but it won't be long till we see the pit lane open about 10 or so more laps, as yet again Zentricity sends it down the inside and takes the position of the lead of the race. Kazakhs must be getting a very frustrating figure, as we see Jay Wizzy lead the session. So whether that's just a disconnect or out of pure frustration, I think it might be due to a disconnect, as we see things getting very close here with CSGB Rayman and the crew. He is pulling along with him. We'll jump on board for Tribe for just a moment to see if anything can happen here. As we can see, Jay Wizzy getting put under all sorts of pressure by Hindle, and Hindle pulls back a position for the Renault, trying to see what his teammate is doing in front of him. Jay has got lagged out. Yep, he has. 3-second penalty for Mr. YOLO, so that's going to put him in a punishing position that close and that far up. As we see a car spun, who was that? It's the Williams of Vapor Cobalt. The American has spun it at turn 7, the long right-hander, and into the wall he went. Is that wing damage for the Williams? No, it's not, so he has managed to keep it all together. As after this lap, the split times have all disappeared. Zentrasti still in the lead, but look what's happening behind. A massive train is still forming, so pit stops are going to be an absolute crucial part as Netsky goes round the outside and dips the car around the outside of turn 6. As Rumsey retires, that is a McLaren out of the race and into the wall by the looks of things. I'm not sure if that's happened, how he's done that, but that is a safety car and it will bring out the first pit stops for the lead runners. The safety car has been deployed, meaning we will get some action from the restart, but it all has been very close. That gives me a chance to breathe, because I am telling you, I've got a dry throat, because it's all been action all the way around. It's a long one, and you ask how that one wasn't a safety car, but I'll tell you what, this one is, as Netsky decides to stay out. Do we have anyone in the pits? We have Carl and James Dovey, meaning they're going to get lapped, which means they will be able to go past the safety car. But that is a 5-second pit lane speeding for Mr. YOLO, and he will be kicking himself for that. I'm sure he will serve it in the pit lane if I'm not correct. Netsky, of course, will get us underway as he doesn't look he's going to pit. We will just see what strategic of tyres, we'll see what tyres people have gone to. I can't even speak. So, as you can see, Kazakh's in 3rd place has pitted for a set of hards. Eklund will be all over the back of him on his brand new soft tyres, so he's going for a 2-stop it seems. Vapor Trench going early onto the mediums, and YOLO choosing the same decision as Eklund to go onto the soft tyres. PB Racing looking to go to the end on the hards, and CSB Rainman puts on a new set of soft boots, as does Oscar with the mediums and Noah with the hards. Tribe puts on the medium tyres, so does Vapor. Vapor puts on the hard, Hindle, new set of softs. Timmy chosen not to pit, and then everyone below has put on a new set of tyres, as James Dovey has been disqualified from the session. I'm not entirely sure what's happened there. Did he ignoring yellow flags? I don't know what happened. James, can you please explain what happened? I have no idea what just happened there. You've just been disqualified for, well, ignoring yellow flags is what came up on my screen. I have no idea what's happened there. Do apologise for missing that. But all the pit stops have been made. Netsky and Zentricity have left themselves in a fairly vulnerable position here. Obviously trying to make the one-stop count. You would expect them to go onto the hard tyres. So Kazakhs could be sat in a very, very good position here, as PB Racing has left the session. So he will be in AI mode. But if he has enough invites, he can rejoin the action back. James Duffy was told to pass the safety car apparently. He did, and then he got disqualified. So, like I was saying, I think they could have passed the safety car because they got lapped by the front runners, which means they can go and unlap themselves and join the back of the queue, which is what happens in normal F1. But unfortunately, the game has glitched and James Dovey has been given a DSQ, which is very unfortunate from his part. Netsky is going to restart us there, not this lap, as we still wait for some of the drivers at the back of the grid, Jay Prentice and Lisa, as well as Carwin Robb, to join the back of the queue. So it will be one more lap behind the safety car, and it will be Netsky to get us underway. We will take this time to look at the penalties that everyone has picked up. So we have 8 seconds for Mr. YOLO. That was a speeding in the pit lane and, of course, exceeding track limits. Vapor has now picked up a penalty as well for, I'm guessing, speeding in the pit lane. And Hindle and Jay Wizzy both picking up penalties as well. He's got the penalty for collision under the safety car. So drivers getting too close as we see a Ferrari pull into the pit lane, and that is Jay Wizzy, which means maybe we're going to have another lap behind the safety car. Right, we seem to be having a lot of glitches happening in this race, which is an absolute shambles. We have James Love getting disqualified, we've been told to overtake, and we have a unlucky penalty for collision onto safety car, which apparently didn't even happen, so... Right. It's a nightmare. It's all kicking off. But we are still waiting for the safety car to come in, and it doesn't look like it's coming in so far. Oh, I tell a lie. Safety car in this lap. Let's get ready for some racing action because Jay Wizzy has done very well to catch up there. It's left it late, so let's stay here then with Netsky to see if any action happens. He goes early, he checks the line. Zentricity is awake to it though. Are there any movement further back? We see 3 cars going wide. We see Rayman make it up a position. And down into turn 1, we see not much going on in the front runners, but behind there seems to be a lot of action. Add a 3-second penalty for Zentricity for corner cutting. That could just decide the race, as we see Tribe going down the inside and a wing damage for the Williams. He's broke too late and hit the back of PB Racing, but that is unfortunate for him as the pit lane has the pits have just gone as PB Racing is going to go down the inside of the Renault of Hindle. Hindle sweeps around the outside on those brand new soft tyres. And he's going to make a move now on Vapor Cobalt as well, which I'm sure he'll be able to do down this back straight here as he gets to the third gear, and the better grip gives him a better exit. Obviously DRS is not enabled for a couple more laps, so Hindle going to go to brake earlier down this inside. If I was Vapor Cobalt, I'll just let him go because he has the quicker tyres. Cobalt's got to play the long game now on those hards, and Hindle gets the job done. As we can see, Ekelund passing by Kazakhs now. Kazakhs has held third position for all race really, but the new soft tyres of Ekelund is going to pay like a good gamble at the moment, so let's stay on board with him because he will have of course a lot more pace than the 2 in front of him on 15 lap newer tyres. And here we go then, we see Ekelund looking to make a move into turn 6, but not close enough to at this moment in time. He's getting closer. I need to find my laptop charger, otherwise I am not going to be able to see anything at all. As we see now, Ekelund trying to make a move down to turn 9 on Zentricity, and he makes it as Zentricity clips the back left wheel of the Alfa Romeo driver, and Ekelund's making no soft work as we see Kazakhs go wide behind. And DRS has now been enabled, so it won't be long till I imagine Ekelund gets past Netsky. And there are moves back behind as YOLO gets past Kazakhs. I'll leave you on board here with Ekelund as I try and find some sort of charging device. DRS wide open. Turn 6, here it comes approaching, and Ekelund takes the lead of the race on the brand new soft tyres, and he will try and pull away as far as he can, try and give himself some gap to pit again. Kazakhs, if he can stay in distance here, in close proximity to those in front of him, he will have a great chance of going on to win this race, opting early for the hard tyres. And unfortunately the AI has caused damage as well to other people. YOLO looking close to make a move now down the inside of CSGB Rainman. Is he going to make it? No, those soft tyres just not having enough grip. Out the final corner, he's going to dive late, and CSGB Rainman sees him coming, gives a bit of room and keeps a position on the hard tyres. So the hard tyres just allowing Kazakhs here. Oh, sorry, go down the inside of Kazakhs. He went past CSGB Rainman on the straight. Kazakhs doing well to hold on those soft tyres. As you can see, the boys that haven't pitted, Netsky and Zentricity, as CSGB Rayman goes around the outside for the second time this race into turn 6 and catches YOLO napping as he is now on the soft tyres as well. Kazakhs is going to look to defend from him as Vaporgent's getting close to Zentricity. As you'd imagine them two at the front, second and third position, both be feeling the strain now on those tyres, 20 lap old on the softs. Paper Trench is looking very interested in Zentricity. Zentricity maybe dropping back down the grid very soon as well. But he has DRS, and Ekelund sets the fastest lap at 1:08, so only 1/10 quicker than that of Zentricity's fastest lap from earlier on. A CSGB Rayman goes down the inside of Kazakhs. Kazakhs brakes late on the outside. Will he be able to hold the position? They're side by side. It's allowing the two drivers in behind, and Kazakhs keeps the position. But CSGB Rayman will have the inside for turn number 4 and 5. And that will keep the position for Rainman now, as he can now make those soft tyres go to work. Down the back straight, YOLO now trying to rein in Kazakhs on the hard tyres. He would be desperate to get past the Williams. Will the Canadian. Will he be able to make the move work down this straight here? Exit of turn 8. Takes a lot of curb. Will not be in the tyres much favours at all. It sticks wide as he will try and get a better exit here. If he gets a better exit, he'll have a lot favourable down the straight. As you see, Netsky pull into the pit lanes. I believe it's Netsky. It is. So he's gone 21 laps on the soft tyres. And as you see, the medium pit box is open, so he's timed it perfectly. YOLO's not going for a move now on Kazakhs, as Kazakhs holds his position. We see who else is pitting. Netsky, of course, the only one pitting, so drivers are still going up. Jay Prentice has gone down the inside of Tribe here and keeps the position. So the soft tyres, but Tribe's going for this switch back down the inside. Jay Prentice gives enough room and keeps the position. That's only going to allow Noah onto the back of the Red Bull driver. And will he lose 2 positions by trying to go for a greedy move into turn number 3? No, he won't. So he'll keep it, and he gets very close to Jay Prentice, but Jay Prentice has fought himself way back into this race and gone for the soft tyres after having a very difficult start. He is now in 9th position. There is obviously a bit of a gap now forming between P7 and P8 over a second. But everyone now in the top 10 having not pitted. Zentricity finally pits, and that leaves the work to be done now for Kazakhs, especially to stay with these front runners. But as you can see, Ekelund slowly pulling off. 3.2 seconds. He's got past the crowd of drivers and doing the job that he needs to do to try and get a 2-stop working for him. Vapor Trench now in 2nd position, holding off Rainman, who is also going for a 2-stopper. Lisa picks up a penalty, as you can see. Kazakhs not under attack just yet from YOLO. And Netsky has already passed Zentricity. So these two have come out very close behind one another. 1.6 seconds separates them. So Netsky has done a decent pit stop and taken a chunk out of Zentricity's time. So if Netsky can keep it clean, his only real challenge now will be from Kazakhs on the 1-stop, unless Ekelund can put those soft tyres to use. But obviously still a long way to go. 24 laps out of 57, not even halfway through yet. And the drivers will be feeling a little bit of fatigue at the moment. The CSGB Rainman looking up the inside of Vapor Trench, gets the job done early, and that's 2nd position for Rainman. Vapor Trench just couldn't fight it in those corners, as we have a yellow flag. That will be Lisa spinning around and into the wall, and she can't keep the car stable at the moment. Is that wing damage for the Haas driver? It is. Left end plate gone yet again, so the race is going from bad for worse for the Haas. As we see Ekelund pulling away now, CSGB Rayman is going to be trying his best to pull away from those behind him. But he is the front man of a 5-man DRS train, back all the way to Oscar in the Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo looking very good here for a good points total, currently running in 1st and 6th position. Both drivers, I imagine, will have to pit again. And will there be any moves into turn 1? YOLO is put under pressure from Oscar. Oscar's pulling over to the outside. He's got to be careful to avoid the Williams in front of him. He goes down the inside of YOLO, braking just in time to stop himself getting passed by Kazakhs. But YOLO, we've seen that many times before, has sat back up the inside, which gives Oscar the inside line on YOLO. And YOLO drops back to 6th. Zentricity sets the fastest lap. And there's side-by-side racing here, as YOLO now side-by-side with Oscar Sandblom. And Oscar keeps the position of P5, and that is now 10 laps on these new tyres after the safety car. They have absolutely flown by 4 seconds now, the gap that Eklund has pulled away. We'll just see the interval to the leader. And we'll keep an eye on Netsky and Zentristi's times, as they are currently the net leaders at the moment. Well, actually, no, they're not. Kazakhs is the net leader, because he will be able to go to the end on those tyres. It's down now to Netsky to try and pull his way back up the field. As we now see moves happening ahead. Vapor Trench is moving side to side. PB Racing's AI is getting in the way of every single person here, which is unfortunate, but there's not really much they can do, as Oscar trying to go around the outside, which has caused the Haas of YOLO to be right his back, and the AI of PBR is getting all in people's ways at the moment. But that has now caused a second gap to form between Kazakhs and Oscar, meaning no DRS on a straight, so YOLO may be looking now to make a move into turn 1, as we've seen so many drivers do before. Here we go then. No DRS on the Alfa Romeo in front of him. I'm sure Oscar's using a lot of ERS. No, he's not. And unfortunately, the one time where there's a sitting duck in front, YOLO cannot make a move. He's not close enough to make those soft tyres work. And the mediums sort of coming into their own now. 12 laps in, very wisely worn in indeed. And that will be a position to watch out now for, see if a gap forms between these two drivers. As Vapor Trench slowly closing the gap now on CSGB Rainman. Still staying about 4 tenths, as it is distance between Kazakhs behind. And longer this stays like this for Kazakhs, he'll be loving it, because those hard tyres will get into a league of their own in a few laps' time. Let me just check what the predicted tyre life is of those. So the hard tyres can go for 40 laps. He has had them on for 12, which means it went back to 15. Which means he's looking for 42 laps out of them, which I'm sure will be easily doable. As you can see, Hindle has got past a lot of people, because YOLO has gone into the pit lane, and now he's going to complete his 2-stop strategy. And onto the medium tyres he goes for the end. Anyone else pulling into the pits? Timmy as well, looking to go onto his first pit stop. So it will be hard soft tyres for him. So interesting to see that he is going to try and do a lot amount of tyres, a lot amount of laps on those tyres. New front wing goes on for him as well, so I must have missed that bit of damage. 5.3 seconds to gap now. Eklund has pulled away, storing up decent amount of ERS as well. So Eklund is doing a very good job here on the 2-stop strategy. He's got through the traffic, unlike these lot have behind. There is a long old queue back all the way to Hindle. And Hindle is getting back amongst the action now. He's not going to be able to make a move into turn number 1 as we begin lap 30 here at Bahrain. Anyone close enough? It doesn't look like they are ahead, so we're going to stay like this for a couple more corners now. Kazakhs really making those hard stick for him at the moment, doing a fantastic job. Here's the Williams driver. If people watching, any predictions for who you think is going to win this race? As we see, Zentristi has got past Netsky. I've missed that. So Zentristi has made those mediums work a little bit better than Netsky has so far. He's closed the gap down to from 1 point something seconds all the way up to overtaking him. But Netsky is going to fight back round the outside. Obviously not close enough there. A little bit too close for comfort. And we'll wait. There's no point risking it, as he knows Zentristi has a penalty. But will not be close enough now to make a move. As we see a little bit closer now, 3 tenths only the distance between Kazakhs, Oscar and Vapor Trench. But again, are any moves going to be made into turn 1? No, a nice little train of 5 different cars. Being patient, they know there's a long time to go. Kazakhs can afford to be patient, as he knows everyone in front of him will have to pit yet again. And Zentristi still remains ahead of Netsky. But not for long, as Netsky sends it down the inside. Locking up again. He did that a couple of laps ago. There's Zentristi on his outside. He pushed him wide. He pushed him very wide. And manages to keep the position. A little bit aggressive there from Netsky, but he keeps his position as we see Timmy set the fastest lap on his brand new tyres. And Yolo picks up yet another penalty for multiple warnings. Carwin, the Welshman, now looking to put pressure on Tryby and Noah Jones for some more points in the midfield. We'll stay on board with this as they come round the final 2 corners, turn 9 and 10. Noah on the hard tyres, looking to go to the end. The mediums may not make it, but it'll be interesting to see if they can. Yeah, it will be tight. They pitted under the safety car, so will try and make a move down to turn 1. Yes, he will. Will he get the move completed? You bet he will. Noah's going for a switch back. A little bit of a tap there from Carwin on the back of the Ferrari. The Tryby moves himself up into 8th position and looks to pull away from Noah, but Noah's going to stick right behind him on the hard tyres, and Carwin just can't get the exit to close the gap. And as you can see, JP is driving his own race really, and Timmy sets a 59.8, so the first lap inside the 1 minute mark for the fastest lap, as the racing points are getting very close to each other, but they are on different laps. So here we can see the train starting to form. Eklund now 6.5 seconds ahead of CSGB Rainman and doing a fantastic job. It'll be interesting to see when he pits, whether he pulls or waits for a safety car. A safety car or a virtual safety car will play right into Eklund's hand. And I see wing damage fly across the track. Carbon fibre out onto the runoff area of turn 1. Who was that? Let's try and do some detective work and figure out who's missing a front wing. It is a Williams. Kazakhs, that's not good for his race chances. You can see there he's missing his right end plate. Kazakhs, the man who's going to the end of those hard tyres, has a bit of wing damage. Obviously hitting the back of Vapor Trench into turn 1, and that is going to pay a lot of dividends for him as he now runs wide and is going to be struggling for a lot of grip on those hard tyres. They're hard enough to drive on as it is, and with wing damage he's going to have to play the long game and hope for things to happen his way elsewhere. Will that allow Oscar to get the exit on him into turn number 1 as the DRS now open? As you can see, he's formed a gap now to Vapor Trench ahead of him. Top speed here as Oscar looks to go down the inside but doesn't make a move yet. Will Kazakhs be ruining that mistake as Carwin gets past Tryby? So this free little battle wave for P number 8 is heating up as Tryby goes down the inside. A little bit of contact there. Tryby round the outside means the inside line for turn number 4. And away they go down the DRS straight, and Tryby from P10 has now put himself in P8. So a lot of chopping and changing going on in the points positions. Behind, we don't see much else going on apart from Zentricity and Netsky both chopping and changing as well. Just waiting for the pit stops to open to see if anything happens at all between the front and see how the race actually levels itself out. As we see Eklund chooses to pit now. This is what we've been waiting for. The race leader has now dropped himself into the pit lane. Let's see where it brings him out. If it brings him out anywhere near Netsky or Zentricity, he's done a fantastic job. So here we see then the AlphaTauri and the Renault coming out now across the line, and Eklund has got out ahead of them. Will he keep the position? It's going to be interesting. He does. So he's made a 2-stop work for him, and he's got the jump on the 2 cars in front, and he now has brand new tyres to pull away from Netsky and Zentricity. So Eklund has done an amazing job there. He's done the job he has to do to get the 2-stop working, and I'll tell you what, he is now favourite, I guess, to go on to win this race unless Kazakhs can hold on with that wing damage. Hindle picks up 3 seconds of penalties, and now Kazakhs is out of the DRS range, so that means the wing damage is causing him a lot of trouble, which means Oscar should pass him now on the faster compounded tyres. Here we go then. Oscar, will he pull to the right? I imagine he will very shortly. He's using as much slipstream as he can. Kazakhs tries to fight it but gives up and knows that there's no point. And will he go around the outside though, Kazakhs? No, he will not. And that is 2nd place for the Alfa Romeo driver. And Kazakhs now maybe starting to feel the pressure from Hindle as well as he opens his overtake button, and DRS is wide open too. So the battle for the start of this race is absolutely heating up. Ekelund is not being able to put away just yet from Netsky and Zentricity. And unfortunately, the means Netsky is now back in the points in 10th position after a few pit stops elsewhere. And yeah, it's starting to heat up now as we see Hindle pits looking for a 2-stop. Let's see where he comes out after this pit stop. Jay Prentice passes him on the same compound of tyres. Tribe also opts to pit. CSGB Rainman has got past Hindle and Tribe in the pit lane, which means his undercut has worked, putting him into the points. Netsky and Zentricity gaining back up the field with, I imagine, 4 more drivers ahead of them to pit. That will be Carwin, Jay Prentice, Oscar and Vapor Trench. I can't see those tyres going all the way to the end, but if they do, that's an amazing drive from the pair of them. As Jay Prentice enters the pit lane, meaning more positions will be given to Vapor Trench, leading the way of this Grand Prix at the moment in the Mercedes. Oscar is following him, but closely occupied by Kazakhs with the wing damage. He will have DRS, so he will be very appreciative of this, that Oscar does not have DRS in front of him. So that means he'll be able to be towed along on the straights, and meaning he will be able to make up what time he loses in the corners on the straights due to the extra speed from the opening of the rear wing. And then there's a 6-second gap behind to Carwin and Noah, who one is on medium tyres, one is on the hards. So Noah looking to go to the end. Carwin will be touch and go, of course. Ekelund still not being able to pull away from Netsky or Zentricity. And we have a AlphaTauri Renault all the way from 7th to 10th position. So points for them, as Ekelund now needs to try and get onto the back of Noah Jones for DRS. He needs to get past him if he wants to make up positions. Noah has driven a very good race and looking to make the hard tyres count as he looks to the inside with the DRS open, but not close enough to make a move. So it will be interesting to stay on board with this to see if he can make a move down the back straight. Obviously not into turn number 9, but he may make a move into turn number 1 with the assistance of the DRS. Only running 8% ERS, as is Carwin, not too many percentages ahead of him. He seems to get a good exit as Carwin already pulls to the inside. He knows what's coming. He knows the attack's coming from Noah Jones. Will Noah be able to make it work this time around with 17 laps left? They have so dipped. He's not close enough at all. And Carwin keeps the position. So Noah just biding his time, really, maybe charging up his battery for a final punt at the end of the race, waiting for those tyres just to cook off a little bit more. As we see Netsky, Ekelund and Zentricity still in close proximity to each other, and behind Zentricity, CSGB Rainman is in his own little drive at the moment. Lisa behind in 17th, who he has lapped. Any action taking place here? Nope, Carwin slowly pulling away from Noah Jones, so maybe the medium tyres still having a little bit more pace than the hards. The tyre wear for the mediums is around 33 laps, so still a good amount of laps left in those, as Noah Jones has DRS but not able to make a position, as we see a Haas gone round. Who is that? It's not Lisa, that means it's YOLO. YOLO has dropped it, going into turn number 8. It won't cost him any positions, I don't think, but no, I don't think it did cost him any positions, but it has cost him a lot of time, and a race that started pretty well for him has slowly gone down the drain, unfortunately for him in the Haas. So Haas having a difficult day at the office as we jump on board with Netsky, as we see Eklund ahead looking to make a move on Noah Jones, so he has got in DRS zone range. As Kazakhs has made a move on Oscar, so he's given up. And Oscar's gone into the pit lane, so Kazakhs is still out and about, fighting hard. P2 at the moment, which means if Oscar has pitted, that means Vapor Trench will also have to pit, and Carwin will have to pit, which means the top 3 will be looking like will look like Kazakhs, Eklund, followed by Noah Jones. And as you can see, Eklund has got past Noah. Here we go. He's got past Noah. He's now looking to get past Carwin, which he does. So Eklund's decided to flick a switch, change gear, and push his way up the field to try and put a few cars between him and Netsky, but Netsky's trying to respond. He's got past Noah Jones, interestingly being left for dust in the background. Netsky knows he needs to get on with it if he wants to beat Eklund to the lines. Interestingly picks up another penalty, unfortunately for him, so that may be him out of the race battle with 43 laps on the clock. Will Carwin be able to hold off Netsky? If he can, then that would be brilliant news for Eklund. DRS wide open. Netsky going to fire it down the inside. Carwin defends early. He goes late. Netsky down the inside. Carwin close the tap wheels. Carwin will try and keep his car in the best position he can. Gives him enough room. And Netsky flings around the outside. Sees a little bit of a gap, and he's not taking any prisoners. But that has given him a position into apologies for that, got a bit of distraction, but Eklund has pulled away from Netsky, meaning no DRS for Netsky on this lap. But Netsky needs to get a move on if he wants to try and win this race. Noah Jones has got past Carwin. Zentrosty chooses to pit again, so he's going on to soft tyres, maybe looking for a fastest lap of the race. Oh, he has wing damage, that is why, unfortunately for him. And that is his race fight over, which gives a few people a few more places, as Jane Prentice has been done by Tribe into turn 1. I'd like to see how many overtakes have happened into turn 1 in this race. That'd be a cool little stat if that was possible in the game, but let's not be silly about it. Noah Jones, 28 lap old medium hard tyres, will be within DRS range of Netsky, so he may be able to close the gap if he can get close enough, but it doesn't look like he will, as Netsky has got the superior exit over the Ferrari driver, and gaps now starting to form all over the track, and we may be starting to see the final order form on our screens as we begin lap 45. Vapor Trench 3.8 seconds ahead of Kazakhs, but surely he will have to pit again. Obviously nowhere near to making a move there. Netsky will be on a charge, it seems. But Eklund making those tyres work. He is now only 3.6 seconds behind Kazakhs, who still has that wing damage, remember. And it is slowly starting to take shape. No real battles for at the moment, so we'll stay on board with Eklund to see if he can close down on Kazakhs. I'm fully expecting Vapor Trench to pit at some point soon. Eklund just making that gap even bigger between him and Netsky at the moment. Nothing really taking shape. No real moves happening. No real attacks being mounted. But that gap is slowly shrinking between Eklund and Kazakh. As you can see now, 2.9 seconds. It was 3.6 a lap or so ago. So Kazakh's now feeling the effect of those 30-lap-old tyres. Something you don't really see too often in league races, as they only run 50% of what they normally do. But yep, it is currently 30 laps on those one tyre. So this is a different type of race for many of these drivers today. Something that you don't often experience if you're doing league racing, especially here at CSGB. Most of the races are 50%, and the rest of them will be, apart from the sprint races, which will be half distance of 25. We also have a 50-lap sprint race to follow this race, of course, so stay tuned for that, as Eklund is pulling away from Netsky even further, as Carwin has gone to pits to complete his two-stop. 10 laps to go for Carwin on those soft tyres. We will see who currently owns the fastest lap of the race. That will be on fastest lap. Timmy, the only driver into the 59-second mark. So he is currently holding the fastest lap, but not in the top 10, so it will not count towards his final time. His final points tally, I should say. And Eklund now closing in by another second this lap. So it won't be long until he's in distance to make a move. Vapor Trench is still out in the lead by 3.3 seconds. His tyres must be all over the place at the moment, but he seems to be holding on. And with 9 laps to go, he doesn't look like, if he goes a couple more, surely he's not going to be pitting. So he's got to try and hold on. It could mean a puncture for him if the other drivers have pitted that early on, but he sure knows how those tyres are feeling. I can imagine it. As Eklund now, we ride on board. He's nearly within a second, and as I say that, he changes to within a second. A second is the gap. We have a yellow flag in sector 1 and 2, but that's probably just a visual glitch on the timing screens. Eklund now, DRS wide open, not close enough to make a move at this lap, but he may be able to gain on Kazakh through the final few corners. I do believe if Kazakh didn't pick up wing damage, he may have actually been able to hold off for the final remaining 8 laps of this race. But Eklund now 5 tenths behind. Netsky 1.7 behind him. I believe they're both all waiting for Vapor Trench to pit, as Carwin sets the fastest lap of the race from P12 of 59.6. Here we are then, banking turn number 8. Eklund right up behind the Williams driver. He's going to wait for DRS, surely he will, just to get that extra toe into turn number 1. And here we go then, we'll ride on board with the Alfa Romeo driver making a move into second position. Surely it'd be fairly comfortable for him, and as you can see, it is. It's done before halfway down the straight. And that is P2 for Eklund, the man who made the two-stop work so far. And now he's just praying that Vapor Trench can make a mistake, need to pit, or get a puncture. But at the moment, he's still going strong out the front. 2.7 seconds to gap. And I'm sure Netsky is going to be wanting a piece of Kazakh's come the end of this race. But at the moment, it still remains Vapor Trench out into the lead, and Eklund in P at number 2. Hindle is getting close to CSGB Rainman, both on fairly used soft tyres, so their pace should be around the same. Elsewhere on the grid is very split up. Jay Prentice close towards Tribe, but not close enough to make a move. But will Hindle be able to make a move on Rainman? It will be interesting to see. Here we go then, no DRS for the car in front. The AlphaTauri will lose time here to Hindle, but the question is, will Hindle be able to make a move? And the answer is no. Hasnetsky has got past. No, well, I did that ages ago, so I don't know what I'm on about. I thought he got past Kazakhs. He hasn't, but he is in DRS range now. So the battle for the podium is about to heat up. Netsky just drops out of DRS range. He needs to gain that back around turn 8, otherwise he is going to, as we see a Mercedes. Vapor Trench has dropped it. Is it a puncher? I thought it might be. He tried to go too far on it. He's gone round. Is it a puncher? I can't see anything, so he's lost a lot of wing, and Vapor Trench, the race leader, has dropped the car around turn 6 and 7. I'm not sure if that's a puncher or not, I can't tell, but whatever way, he's got to pit, which gives Ekeland the lead of the race. The man who's on the two-stop strategy has taken the lead now, and he would love to see that. That is perfect for him. Kazakhs, the man who's been fighting with wing damage all race long, pitted early on the hard tyres, has now come down to 5 laps to go here, and Netsky is all behind. And after that crash, Vapor Trench has dropped all the way down to 12th position behind his Mercedes teammate. And you can tell that Vapor Trench had felt the effect of those very worn tyres. It was a risk going to the end, and well, I'm sure he wouldn't have been able to get to the end without a puncher had he tried to continue after that. But Netsky now right on the back of Kazakhs. What can Kazakhs do to defend? 5 tenths. Now into 4 tenths. Netsky trying to close the gap, but he's not close enough. And these two fighting is just going to help Ekeland even more to get away. And yeah, around 80% tyre wear you would have imagined, and to risk it, it may not have been worth it, and it seems to have ultimately cost him. He's got a lot of time to catch up if he wants points. As we have an Alfa Romeo spun round. That must... Have we? I don't know what's happened. We had a yellow flag come up. And there's lots of action happening here, so we'll stay on board with this for a moment. Netsky actually will stay on board with that as they're coming up to the second to last corner. As Netsky now 3 tenths behind Kazakhs. Surely now it's time to make a move. Kazakhs, is he opening his ERS? No, he's not, but his fuel light is on. And yeah, again, Netsky's not close to make a move, so Kazakhs must be running some very, very low wings. But Netsky himself is on 30 lap old medium tyres and struggling. But is he struggling enough to make a move here? Doesn't seem like it. Nope, he will not. So he's going to wait yet again. But all this fighting is just going to let Ekeland get away. And without any mistakes now, Ekeland will not win the race. As Kazakhs made a little mistake there. Netsky was thinking about making a move, but unfortunately not close enough as Kazakhs sort of cut him off. He will make a move now. No, he won't. He will stay on the inside. Will he send it here? No, you won't. He will wait for Kazakhs. He's just trying to unsettle him into the last corner. Surely now it's time for Netsky to make his move. The ERS is wide open. Here, Kazakhs has run out, so DRS and ERS for Netsky. He's going to go round the outside of turn 1. The Ferrari trying to get involved as well with Jay Wizzy, the back marker. He's trying to unlap himself, so he's trying to help out the front 3. And Kazakhs is not going to be happy with that, but that means Netsky has made a move for P2 with 2 laps to go. And as you'd imagine, he will be able to hold on to that. Kazakhs not going to be close to make a move. Noah Jones looking on the back of CSGB Rayman, who has worked his way up to 4th position, so a fantastic race from CSGB Rayman. And Noah Jones is looking to get on the back of him on his 39 lap old hard tyres, so surely CSGB Rayman's going to feel a lot more pace on those tyres. And Tristy is dropping down again and pitted. He's not having a good time since his little incident he had. And we see Kazakh going back down the inside of Jay Wizzy, who's trying to cause some problems. There is a back marker here of PB Racing's AI, who is in the way yet again, which is very unfortunate for these drivers. And look what it's doing. It's just making Kazakhs lose more time to Netsky. And that must secure Netsky's P2 here with 2 laps to go. We have cars all over the circuit, but none really making a move on one another. Noah Jones is close to CSGB Rainman. CSGB Rainman just holding him off for now. But no, I'm going to stay on board with this as the DRS section is coming up. 4/10, not the best exit from Noah. It stays within the same amount of time to Rainman. Here we go then. Will he make a move for P4? Noah Jones. Very, very little ERS. And same with CSGB Rainman. Fuel lights flashing. Dashboards flashing. And no moves made as we're now on the last lap of the Grand Prix. Eklund leading the way. It's been a long one. It's been a marathon, but they're still going. Here we go then. Jay Prentice has made a move on Tribe there on the last lap. Wheel bashing, knock him off. The elbows are out from Jay Prentice. Tribe, he's going to try and come back at him. And Tribe will come back at him and make the move into turn 6. And Jay Prentice is going for the switchback. No, he can't. This corner is shut off. But we'll jump on board with Eklund as he banks the final corner where yellow flags flashing. But it's been a long marathon. It's a 100% race. 57 laps of pure speed. A 2-lapper. Netsky takes second place. And Kazakhs, will he cross the line in third? You bet he will. A fantastic race from him. The one stop working. Same as Netsky. Will Rainman hold on for 4th position? Yes, he will, with Noah Jones right behind him and Oscar taking 6th. Hindle takes 7th. Jay Prentice takes 7th, actually. Hindle takes 8th with a penalty. Carwin coming to the line to take 9th position. Timmy gets 10th on the final straight and takes the position. Vapor Trench, who was so promising at the start, lost his tyres, lost his car and spun around, lost his front wing, which means a 11th place for him. Tribe takes 12th. YOLO, a disappointing race for him. I'm sure he'll won't be the first to say it. 13th. Centricity fought so hard from the start, but now finishes 14th. So a race that really didn't reflect what he was capable of. Vapor Cobalt takes 15th. And that is the end of the race. Wow, an absolutely brilliant long slog from the drivers. That was a fantastic race. CSGB Rainman is the driver of the day. Fantastic performance from him. Oh, now to go through the final standings. And I will just run you through them as we see the podiums awarded. Alfa Romeo first. Netsky in second. And of course, who took third? Kazakhs took third place. So here we go then, the final standings for you guys watching. This is not the end of the action, no, we have a sprint race very shortly coming up. Here we go then, Eklund, the man who got the 2-stop to work perfectly, timed his car perfectly. 5th place is first, Netsky in P2 from starting at the front of the grid, Kazakhs P3, Rainman from 19th on the grid to P4, what a drive from him, Noah Jones 14th to 5th. Oscar takes 6th, Prentice in 7th, Hindle in 8th, 9th for Carwin Rob, 10th for Timmy Weddy next, 11th for Trench, Tribe takes 12th, YOLO 13th, Cobalt 14th, Centricity 15th, Jay Woozy 16th, Lisa 17th, PBR Racing Romsey, and then James Dovey rounding off the back of the grid. But there you have it, the final standings. Eklund is your race winner for the first round of PSGL racing and the feature race. He is your winner. 2 Swedish boys on top with a fellow Scandinavian from Finland in third. Fantastic race. And we've got more to come in about 15 minutes time, so please stay tuned for that. I'm just going to see if we can get any drivers in for maybe an interview. We have 15 minutes from now, so UK sprint race will happen. The sprint race will happen at UK time 20:50, which is in 15 minutes. Oh, I've got 15 minutes to kill. If anyone in the chat has any questions, please feel free to ask. Is there any drivers that people in the chat want to hear from? Or anyone at all who fancies a interview, please put a message to me, please. Thank you. Go on, James W. Why is this game so broken? Mate, I have no idea what happened. I fully expected you to be able to overtake the safety car, and if it came up on your screen, I don't see why you got disqualified. But, you know, it just means you're starting at the front of the sprint race, right? I think the rulings are if you get lapped by the front runner on a safety car, then you get to overtake the rest of the grid and the safety car to join onto the back of the grid to make up your original position. So it then makes sense. And because it was only early on the track, you should have been able to go all the way around. So unfortunately, I don't know why that isn't. Oh, I got disqualified from a race and got put in that position last season. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure on the rulings. I was asking the chat. Everyone's leaving this session. I'll tell you what, I'll take you lot on a lap of Bahrain short and see how well I could do on this track. What was the pole time of 57.7? Something around that, so let's see what I can do. Let's get a first person's perspective of the race and see if I can get a decent lap time. What's my fastest time so far? 58.2. I don't want to race in that thing. I don't know why I'm going to got that on. Right then. Let's see what I can do. Oh, that's amazing, turn one now. I'll just restart. Ignore me. I'm not even watching, I'm watching the football as well. This track's horrible. Go on, I'm driving it. Do 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 do. Right, that's terrible. Right. How long have we got? 10 minutes. Let me just ask if anyone wants to join a party and talk about the race. So, next up, in around 10 minutes time, 8 minutes time, we will have a 50% distance, so half of what you've just seen, 29 laps, so about another half an hour of racing coming your way. This really has been a long stint, so I'm glad everyone is enjoying it and still saying somewhat sane. So obviously it was, I believe, Carwin with the fastest lap last time out, and we have 29 laps of action around a 2.3 mile circuit, 10 corners. So you did the maths, 29 laps of 10 corners, 290 corners. Yep, that is absolute genius maths from myself. And yeah, that was that. Tell you what, I was going to set up a party and see what happens. Let me try and find a. I don't want. I joined the wrong party. Let's see if I can get anyone in for 5 minutes. Let's see if anyone joins, shall we? Netsky, hello.
Hello.
Hello, who we got? We've got a few people coming in here. Let's have a chat. We've got 4 minutes, 5 minutes. I'll tell you
Jesus, what's happened here then?
what. Mate.
Half the grid's joined up.
Oh, bloody hell. All right, lads, we've got 5 minutes. You've all joined in? Oh, Jesus Lord. Right, the boys are in. I've got no voice. Let's start off with who wants to take a lead here and say how it went. We'll start off. Go on then. How was it? Where did it go wrong, YOLO? Where did it go wrong, mate? Yeah, I saw the yeah. So you... So what you're saying is you're blaming Jeff. Always blame Jeff. Right. We'll go next with Eklund, the race winner, mate. Fantastic drive from you there. Got the two-stop working. You got through the traffic. How did you find it? You seemed to get through the field fairly quickly after your pit stop. Was that the main thing for you? Yeah, you did a very good job. Very good job. Netsky, are you here? How did you find that? You struggled a bit with a battle with Zentricity at the start. Did that put you off a little bit, or did you find a bit of time halfway through the race to catch back up again? Yeah, you did very well coming back through the field, and you did a very good job. Zentricity, are you here? Hello, mate. How are you doing? How did it? Where did it all go wrong for you? Because it started so positively, and then things sort of went downhill. Where do you think it went wrong?
Towards the end of where it went for me, as I started getting pennies, I got 2 pennies from just my mistake, and then that kind of put me off. I tried my best to obviously carry on and keep going and whatever, but it put me off, and I started messing up and stuff. And then it all ended when I just dive bombed someone on accident and then flew into a car in front of me.
Yep, a little lapse of concentration. I mean, that's what happens sometimes. But I mean, it was a great race from you all. Is anyone else here who wants to say anything at all? Who's just joined? Were you planning on going? Were you planning on going to the end on medium tyres? Yeah. I know. I saw the lap slow ticking down. I was like, he's not going to pit here. And then I just saw a Mercedes. I was like, oh no, he's done it. He's in the wall. Yeah. Apparently, only one person's voice is coming through on the stream, so that's good to know. Some of you might have to change your settings or something, but you've got a minute till we get invited, so I'm going to have to jump back on to my own, and you lot can get ready for the sprint race. So I'll see you in a minute's time. So yeah, good luck, guys, and see you in a bit. Right, there you have it. A couple of the guys talking. I'm not sure if any of you could hear them at all, but it was good to chat to them. I need an invite to the race, please. Anyone? I need an invite back. Thank you. Right then, it's time for a reverse grid sprint race. And another 29 laps of absolute thrilling action. A chance for those who got a little bit unlucky earlier on to have another bite out of cherry to try and score some points. Are we waiting for any more drivers? We know we have a couple of drivers missing the sprint race. It looks like it is the Racing Point pair. But it will not be long now before we are underway again. Hindle is joining me as a spectator. And yes, that is how it is. Who are we waiting for? Anyone? Ah, 2 people just lagged out. That's brilliant. That's not going to be good. They're joining back. Sweet. So, as you can see, 50% race here around the short circuit. That is correct. And during all this racing, ladies and gentlemen, schools and the UK has gone into another national lockdown, which means we are now stuck inside for even longer. Can't wait. Brilliant. Fantastic. Love it. What are we waiting for? Oh dear. What are we waiting for then? We've got... Oh, internet problems. Well, it just wouldn't be a world where internet problems just didn't mess everything up. We've got 17 drivers. 18 drivers. 18. This is going to be a long while. So again, I'll run you through what's going to happen. Top 10 will have to start on the soft tyres, even though there isn't any qualifying. That is how it's going to have to work. Obviously, the back 10 can start on whatever tyres they wish, just like any situation in Formula 1. There will be obviously one stop, barring any damage. And the fastest strategy will be the soft medium, I guess. Obviously, some people trying to do medium soft. Safety cars are still enabled, meaning we could have the possibility of a safety car helping out or restricting some drivers and their strategies. But overall, it's looking to be it's going to be tight. I can tell you now, it's going to be tight. We have City Sly Guy joining for the sprint race. The man who drives the Renault for the Renault, full-time driver for the Renault team. So that is that. I am forgetting how to speak, but you know, that's just part of life, and that's part of a long stream on my own. But it's good to chat to some of the guys. Unfortunately, it is said that you cannot have heard any of them, bar Ekelund, bar anyone else. We are being told to ready up, so action will get underway very quickly, very shortly. While we're loading in, I am just going to nip to a toilet break, and you'll see on the formation lap 37.5 kilograms of fuel is what they're only allowed, and they will need to do the setups as well. Here we go then, the drivers are in the pit sorting out their strategies, their fuel and their setups, hopefully not forgetting. And yeah, we are about to get underway in the sunshine, it seems, in the daytime around Bahrain. So, yep, getting ready now to start all over again. Same drivers, different grid position, which can only mean one thing: action all the way through the field. It will be interesting to see the grid lineup because I cannot remember off the top of my head whether I have well, what the final standings were for that. So all I know is Eklund will be Timmy had to leave because he couldn't do the sprint race. He couldn't do the sprint race, so he can only make it for the feature race. So unfortunately we have lost Timmy. Where to next on the sprint race, as we now wait for the drivers to ready up and get on the grid for the formation lap ahead of a 37.5 kg is the max you're allowed. 29 laps, fast, furious action, drivers fighting left, right and centre. Let's see what they can do. I'm ready when they are. I look forward to this. Here we go then, the countdown has been completed. The drivers will now ready up for the formation lap. And there we have it, Lisa is on pole, but she's on the medium tyres, and that's... oh dear. What has she done? Let's just make sure no one else has made that mistake. Oh, they have. YOLO's done it as well, and so Jay Prentice. Or am I just being an idiot? Can you do that? I don't think you can. Anyway, we'll run through the order. Lisa, followed by Jay, Wizzy, and Zentricity is in third after he must be the favourite for this race. Vapor Cobalt is followed by his North American compatriot YOLO in fifth. Tribe is in sixth. Vapor Trench seventh. Jay Prentice eighth. Oscar P9. Noah Jones in P10. Rainman P11. Kazakh 12th. Netsky 13th. Eklund 14th. Roomsy 15th. 16th for James Dovey, and Silly Sly Guy brings up the back of the grid after joining late for 17th position. And there we have it. There's your grid, 17 drivers. I just need to ask if that's... Soft hard, being told, is the quickest strategy around here, so I'll put 50% there. As we are now coming to the line, getting ready for a race of 50%. It's the sprint race of the first round of the season. Here we go then. The lights are on, but there's no revs on the car engine at the moment, so I know that's a fake start. The cars are revving now. The clutches are engaged. The revs, there's no lights on, but I'll just imagine they'll get ready to go whenever they want. And there we go, underway. Jay Wizzy seems to have got a much better start than Lisa at the front of the grid. And where are they going to come? It's going to be tight to turn one as Jay Oh, there's front wing everywhere. Williams is not down the inside. The Renault of Zentricity has gone round the outside and gained up into second position. Jay Wizzy takes the lead. And Lisa has dropped all the way down to sixth position. Again, more carbon fibre. She pushes Jay Prentice wide. She's having none of it. Jay Wizzy now under attack from Zentricity, and Zentricity has made his way up the grid. And we have a VSC, a virtual safety car. And that takes us round the slow corners now of turn 6, 7 and 8. And I'll use this time now just to scroll through, see if we've got any damage. Not on the front two, not on the Williams. Vapor Trench, has he got damage? I can't see, I don't know, it's all been glitchy, good fun. Yes, Lisa has damage, Jay Prentice does not. Neither does Noah. YOLO, I cannot tell from there. We'll see who pits. As we stay on board, the virtual safety car should allow some of the drivers to pit onto mediums, but the virtual safety car has now returned and the drivers are back to full speed racing. 3 drivers in the pit, Lisa Tryby and Eklund, your race winner from earlier on, is into the pit lane already, so he's going straight to the medium tyres. And I'm assuming a new wing as well. As you ride on board with Zentricity, who has taken the lead. He is up from P3 to P1. Vapor Trench has made moves, so has Jay Prentice and Noah Jones, and Rainman has also made up a few positions, as well as Netsky, already up to P9 from 14th position on the grid. And there we have it, Jay Prentice, the medium tyre runner, currently running in 5th position. As that, we have Vapor Trench putting his Vapor teammate under a lot of pressure here. Zentricity sets the fast lap of 101.1, obviously more time than that. Vapor Cobalt's not going to defend, is he, or will he? Will there be a move made? Down the inside goes Vapor Cobalt. And Vapor Cobalt holds around the inside, which gives Vapor Trench the inside line. Will they touch wheels? Of course they will, it's inevitable. He's going to hold it around the outside here. Then it's side by side as it goes down the straight in for turn 6. Where is Cobalt? He's behind, and Vapor Trench has made the move work for him. YOLO can't be too far behind Prentice, he's not. Both on the medium tyres, YOLO cannot make a move there. As Lisa gets past Oscar, who goes into the pit, so the Alfa Romeo boys losing points in the sprint race. That allows other teams to catch up. Zentricity trying to pull away. Vapor Trench now formed a gap, a trench if you like, to the front two. Jay Wizzy just trying to stay with Zentricity. Zentricity's going to want to try and pull away from everyone as quickly as he can. Cobalt not too far behind Vapor, but behind Trench. Cobalt not close enough to make a move on this occasion. Noah sitting in a bit of a gap now. Jay Prentice behind him, some medium runners. Kazakhs has worked his way up and worked his way up again into P8 to get past CSGB Rayman and takes 8th position. There's your 3rd place racer from the feature race. CSGB Rayman now under pressure from Netsky, who's worked his way up as well. Will he be able to get another move done on his teammate? Obviously you want to make it as clean as possible, but at the moment not close enough, as we do have DRS activated, meaning there may be a few scuffles into turn 1. We're right aboard with Jay Wizzy. He's putting Zentricity under a lot of pressure. He's closed the gap now. He probably will be close enough to make a move with DRS into turn 1, so we'll stay on board with this and see if he can make a move. I can't see because it's going to be a stupid camera angle, but here we go, down the inside. He lifts off the accelerator, so he's not going to make a move. He's just going to want to stay here and bide his time, which at this stage of the race is probably the correct thing to do, as we see Kazakhs getting past Jay Prentice, which now puts YOLO on the inside. YOLO's going to want to fight Jay Prentice. Jay Prentice may lose 2 positions in 1 sector here. Will he let him down the inside? He will. He holds the inside line. Will he get the move done? No, Jay Prentice holds it around the outside. Will YOLO come back with DRS? He will, you know. They're both side by side. They both have DRS. So it's down who's later on the brakes. YOLO side by side with Jay Prentice. Jay Prentice gives him a little nudge out wide, but he has all entitlement to do that, as they are slightly ahead of the house. But Jay Prentice a little bit sloppy into the corner, will get the better exit. It's very close. Jay Wizzy, is he going to be able to make a move now on Zentricity? We'll wait and see. I'm sure he will be able to. bit more. Here he goes, he's decided now, wait to be a little bit closer, wants to get the move done a lot cleaner, and Jay Wizzy takes the lead of the sprint race. Ferrari ploughing on the inside of turn 1, a little clip on the back wheel there from Zentricity, not being early enough on the brakes. And Jay Wizzy takes the lead from Zentricity down to Vapor Trench. He's worked his way up brilliantly. How many places is that now for Vapor Trench? That is up 4 positions. Noah Jones and Kazakh's also doing brilliantly, getting themselves up into position. And Netsky has finally got past CSGB Rayman, and he's also got past Jay Prentice as well. And Yolo will feel him breathing down his neck very shortly as well. So Netsky loves these type of situations. In practice yesterday, I'm pretty sure he did the same thing, starting from the back of the grid and worked his way all the way up to first position in a 100% race. But will Zentricity be able to make a move into turn 1? We'll wait and see. The gap is closing, but I don't think it's going to be close enough to make a move, is it? No, not at all. And Jay Wizzy's got the edge as Kazakh makes another move on Noah Jones. Noah Jones just tucks in behind the Williams driver, so that's 4th and 5th for Williams at the moment. Vital points early on in the championship at the moment. And Netsky gets past Yolo into turn 1, 2 and 3. And out turn 4, Netsky is the 7th place position. Lisa picks up a penalty and she's dropped all the way down to 14th, so it's not been a good start to her season. As Jay Wizzy now has a bit of company, and Vapor Trench can't quite close the DRS range, but we'll have Vapor Cobalt for company on the DRS straight. Zentricity 5.5 tenths behind, now 5 tenths, 4 tenths. His time is closing. He's choosing his use the DRS button ever so slightly. He's going to get closer to make a move. Will he be able to get it down the inside? Here we go then. Late on the brakes, he does, and the Renault takes the lead. He goes deep, which may allow Jay Wizzy back in. He does, and Zentricity's all over the place. Gives Jay Wizzy enough room, but these two just slow each other down massively. But Vapor Trench hasn't been able to capitalise on that bit of messy driving from Zentricity. But now he is within DRS range. So we have a bit of a train flipping now from 1st to 4th position, with no real idea of when it may get broken. I imagine after the pit stops at some point. But here we go then, Jay Wizzy looking to spark another move down into turn 1. As Zentricity takes a bit of a tighter line, and it looks like going towards the pit lane, but not this early surely, and no he doesn't. Just breaking that toe very early on. It seemed to have helped him very slightly, and I don't think he's going to be able to make a move. Is Jay Wizzy, so he's going to stay behind for now. Vapor Cobalt is not close enough to make, or he is. No, he's not. Kazakhs is not. We have a yellow flag in sector number 2, and that is Tribe, who spun around, lost his whole front wing, and a safety car has been called out. So that will mean three pit stops for the guys in front. Not entirely sure what happened with Tribe there, but that seems to be the place where a lot of people have crashed their cars. He is very far last now, and we have a drive-through penalty for Roimsey, whatever you want to say. There's a lot of drivers now coming into the pit lane. What will the front runners do? I imagine they'll pit as well. Go onto the hard tyres, which should be able to make 20 laps, yeah, easily. So it is Zentricity. Will he go for the pit lane? Yes, he will, and I imagine all the other drivers will behind, and I am not wrong. So there we go. It's going to be a massive pile up in the pit lane. We've got some drive-through penalties to be served. We've got some speeding in the pit lanes to be served coming up. So it's an absolute mess. What is going to happen with the order of this race? Zentricity goes for the hard tyres. Jay Prentice is now in the lead of the race. CSGB Rainman behind him. And Zentricity, after his pit stop, comes out in 3rd position. Hopefully no one gets done by this stupid glitch again. Tribe, here we go. So he's just gone past the safety car. He's been told he can overtake the safety car. Will he get disqualified? No, so what was the problem with... Interesting. Very interesting. Will Silly be able to overtake? Oh no, I'm being stupid. I thought the safety car was a Renault, but it's not. It's a safety car picture. Jay Prentice then will be getting us underway once the grid catches up, and as you can see, it's very spread out. So 2 or 3 laps at least behind this safety car. Safety car came out to, which seemed to be on the back of Tribe's overstake. That's all I can imagine at the moment. So car number 96 of Jay Prentice is bringing us around behind the safety car as he now pits for his pit stop, so meaning he will be on the back of the pack. Well, not the back, will he be able to come out? He goes for hard, and a few more people in the pit lane as well. We have Prentice, Yolo, Netsky and Noah Jones, which means Centricity is now in the net lead, as of course CSGB Rainman needs to restart. Did a restart and pit, unless he chooses to pit another lap in. But at the moment it's not looking like he's going to have much favour when it comes to pressure from behind, as they're going to be right up behind CSGB Rayman as the grid now finally start to catch up. Eklund's not had the best start to the feature race, to the sprint race. An amazing feature race from him, and the sprint race has been the complete opposite. Could say the same for Noah Jones as well. The Haas is struggling yet again. Netsky only in 12th position, but we'll fancy his pace against some of the drivers ahead of him to try and get past. Jay Prentice has come out 11th after his pit stop from the front of the safety car. Oscar taking 10th, Silly Sly Guy in 9th, James Dovey 8th, Roimsey in 7th, Kazakhs 6th, Vapor Trench in 5th, Cobalt in P4, Jay Wizzy is interesting, and Rayman are your top 3. As we've got one more lap behind the safety car, and Jay Prentice has gone to the pit lane again. So I'm guessing they're going on to back onto the soft tyres for 15 laps, 17 laps, 16 laps, however many laps. Interesting decision. They should catch up before the end of the lap, meaning we will not have another lap under the safety car. Rainman, not sure how he's going to tackle it. Probably got to the softs at some point. Hope for maybe another safety car or a virtual safety car. And Yolo has collided with his teammate and got a 5-second penalty. Oh dear. Hang on, but Lisa's behind, so how did Yolo get the penalty? So unless Lisa's crashed into Yolo and given him a penalty. Oh dear, it's a mess from the Hasses. It's a mess, but a mess that they can fix upon themselves. But as there you go, we get the message saying safety car in his lap, so it will be Rainman to get us underway. All cars go from side to side, warming up those hard tyres because they are a nightmare to get warm, especially on a track with such little corners. It will be a while till they come into element. So as we're about to cross the line to start lap 13, it will be CSGB Rainman to get us underway. Cars getting very close to one another. CSGB Rainman trying to keep it as clean as safe as possible. There he goes for the restart. Centricity gets away, not the best, and Jay Wizzy will get a run down the inside. So Centricity's early call to go cost him a position, has it? I don't know at the moment. Nope, Centricity has kept the position. But will we fight down the inside, Jay Wizzy? No, he will not. And he's hit the back of CSGB Rainman, and there's an absolute colossal of things going on behind. But no moves being made just yet. CSGB Rainman takes us in into turn 6, and a lock-up from Centricity. Vapor boys are fighting, both on hard tyres. Who's going to get the move done? It's very close, but Trench keeps his nose ahead and puts the two Williams next to each other. Romsey and James Duffy really need to make the most of those soft tyres now and get through the field as quickly as they can. They want to make them work. Jay Wizzy is also in a good position to try and make a move on Centricity. When will CSGB Rainman come into the pit lane? Not yet is the answer to that one. And James Dovey is made a move as Rinzi pits, as well as YOLO. That may have been a drive-through penalty or something to do with that, but I do not exactly know why. If you jump on board with them, you can see they're both just driving through the pit lane, so I was correct. That's unfortunate for them. There he goes from bad to worse. CSGB Rainman still out in front, but he's not pulling away, and that's what he really needs to do with a pit stop still left to do. And as you imagine, the train is just building all the way down through the grid. James Dovey has made a few positions up here, but he needs to make a few more if he wants to get the best out of those soft tyres now before they tyre at the end of the race. Here he is then, right behind Kazakhs. He surely will get a better exit than the guy on the hard tyres, and you bet he does. He's already passed him before the turn has even finished, and DRS is enabled. Not for this straight though, and it'll be straight down the inside for James Dovey as Jay Prentice gets past the other Red Bull in Tribe. And James Dovey has worked his way back up into 6th position, so a very good move from him, and right choice gone to soft tyres for now. It seems to be paying off, and a little twitch of the steering wheel may mean he loses out on the chance to get past Cobalt here, as Centricity is now putting some pressure onto Rainman. Rainman surely needs to pit at some point. It's just when does he bite the cherry, maybe hoping for a safety car or a virtual safety car to get himself a free pit stop as City gets past Kazakhs. Kazakhs dropping down the field, unfortunately for him. Does he have damage? Oh, he does. That left, as you can see, that left front plate causing him all kinds of issues, and Netsky is going to fight him now, just like he did earlier on, and he'll make the move as well. So Kazakhs, the man who finished from 3rd place, has now dropped down the order even more, but they're going to come back at him. Netsky's got some great speed, but Kazakhs has even more on that low wing setup, like he was talking to us just a moment before. These two are side by side. Netsky not what he wants in this, and James Dovey's in the wall when his tyres off. James Dovey has retired. I was speaking of him, of how good he was, how well he was doing, and he's into the wall. He's dropped it. Turn 3 and 4, the difficult corners, and he gives it too much rails and spins off into the wall. So it's unfortunate for him. James had a great opportunity to get points, and he's into the wall, and his fans are not happy with that one. And Centricity has taken the lead. Where is Rainman, and what is he doing down here? What's happened to Rainman? Did he drop it under the VSC? Must have done. Centricity has a penalty though. What was that for? Drive-through. Well, that spiced things up a bit. Centricity had a drive-through penalty. Was that for contact with CSGB Rainman under the safety car, under the virtual safety car? All I know is that Centricity is not going to be happy with that, but I did not know what happened. So he has got a drive-through penalty, which means Jay Wizzy's going to be licking his lips. He's going to know that. He's going to see that on his driving standings between him. If he can just hold a Vapor Trench behind him, he will be in a great position to win this race. As Jay Prentice gets past Netsky. Jay Prentice will be loving that on the soft tyres. As we have another yellow flag. What's going on here? There's a side-by-side. Oh, it's the Renault of Centricity who has pulled over and into 13th position. So whether he dropped it or not, I don't know. I'm missing everything at the moment. But Jay Wizzy has a good lead now, 7/10 ahead of Vapor Cobalt, but he has DRS to rein him back in. Rainman needs to pit at some point, like I keep saying. We've only 10, 11 laps to go. Cobalt, Centricity has retired. He's called it a day in the pit lane through his drive-through, so I have no idea what happened there. A costly mistake, it seems. Vapor Cobalt is very close to the back of Rainman, but he doesn't need to make any move at the moment because Rainman knows, they will know that Rainman has to pit. He can't do 17, he can't do a whole race in one set of tyres. Jay Prentice working his way through the field on the soft tyres. We'll stay on board with him as he gets a run on Kazakhs. Kazakhs has the straight line speed, but I know Prentice loves to run low wings as well. The DRS is 41%. He may get him out the exit of this corner. Will he? Let's stay on board and see what happens. As one driver pulls into pits, that is Rainman. He chooses a pit on lap 19. And that just offers more positions. And as you can see, Rainman dropping down the list all the way to 12th position. As Cobalt makes a move on Silly's guy. He will have the inside. As the helicopter cam shows us. Silly Sly Guy keeps the position for now, but will Cobalt be able to come back at him with DRS? We'll have to wait and see into turn number 6. He closes the inside line and then swings back onto the outside, so it could have been a little bit of movement under braking there. But nothing too bad to cause any damage for the two drivers. As this big train continues all the way down to 12th position, Rainman has put himself at the back of the grid after not pitting. He was waiting for something to happen and it just didn't happen his way. Jay Wizzy still out in the lead on his medium tyres, so they have a lifespan of around 33 laps, so half that would be about 16 and a half laps. Meaning he may not be able to get out. And what was that from Jay Prentice? He's gone straight on. We did that earlier on in the feature race. He's completely outbroke himself and put him and his McLaren teammate in a terrible position. I saw the lunge coming just at the back of the picture and I just saw him continue off into the straight. So unless he got a bump up the back end of the car, or whether he just did not brake quick enough, then that's all I can imagine. It's not great from him. And he drops down to 11th position. And as you can see, he's trying to get back onto the end of the train to try be as another yellow car flag, and Jay Prentice has called it a day. His wheel is off, which means he's out of the race, and YOLO's been put off by that. He wants to join in on the action with Jay Prentice as well, but that gives Rainman another position, another chance of the points. I'm not sure what's going on here. The Hasses are just dropping it. Jay Prentice has retired, and we have another virtual safety car. And this race is proving to be a challenge for some of these drivers, as we only have 8 laps left. Just if CSGB Rainman waited a couple more laps, he would have been given a virtual safety car to pit under. But that is racing for you. As Wizzy is now under pressure from Vapor Trench, who got the restart all right and takes the position into turn 1. He caught Jay Wizzy napping. Jay Wizzy wants to fight the position back around the inside of turn 7 and then the outside of turn 8. They touch. But Vapor Trench keeps the position, and the battle for the lead of the race is heating up. Silly Sly Guy waiting for a bit of a mess up from these two. But it doesn't look it's coming at the moment, as we have a few people in the pit lane who are now miles behind the rest of the field. Vapor Trench just trying to pull away from Wizzy. Wizzy is not going anywhere anytime soon. It'll be interesting to see if those medium tyres can go to the end. Whether he will do the same mistake as Vapor did in our feature race. As Netsky pulls up to P4 from the back of the grid. Well, near the back of the grid, overtaking Vapor Cobalt. And Cobalt's going to have something to say about that. He wants to go back and take the position back again. Rayman sets the fast lap with a 59.9. Netsky then up to 4th place. And looking very fast on those medium compound tyres as well. The Williams boys looking to take advantage of the scraps, but at the moment they're still sat in 5th and 6th position. But that is vital points for the Constructors' Championship, as we see an Alfa Romeo pulling wide. That means making a move. They're on each other, are the Alfa Romeo boys. And Eklund, your feature race winner, gets past his teammate of Oscar. It will look like a deliberate move away from Oscar to give Eklund the position. And there you have it then. But Oscar obviously has the penalty, so knowing that, he may have pulled over anyway. No moves into turn 1 on lap 23. And we will wait to see any more moves if they happen or when they come. Vapor Trench now leading away by 3/10. Will Jay Wizzy fancy a move into this corner? YOLO sets the fast lap. I can already tell you that has been instant submitted to the steward's office involving Mr. J. James Dovey and Vapor Trench, a race leader. Will Jay Wizzy go for a move down the inside? No, he will not. And that means he will stick on to first position for now, but we'll stay on board. Alright, see you later, James. Thanks for tuning in, thanks for racing. Obviously it wasn't your day, but still plenty of the season left to go. As Jay Wizzy is not close enough to make a move into turn 6. Lisa gets a penalty as the Hasses of Lisa and YOLO are 13th and 14th. Netsky is closing on the back of City Sly Guy. Schreiber picks up a penalty. So Rayman may be looking at that, although he is 13 seconds behind, so I don't think that will mean too much at this point of the race. Lap 24 is about to turn into lap 25 as Jay Wizzy is now very close to Vapor Trench. Will he be feeling the effects of those tyres? Still gaining. Still plenty of ERS to play with. Does Jay Wizzy, so he is buying his time. Eklund gets past Kazakhs. Does he? Will he get him on the switchback? Vapor Cobalt says yes and takes the position back. Kazakhs now up the inside of Eklund. They touch and Kazakhs is nearly gone around. He holds it. It was audacious from Kazakhs to send out the inside, but ultimately it's cost him a few positions there. His positions lost for Kazakhs with his wing damage. He could have been patient there, but he's lost 4 positions and will be under pressure now from Tribe behind. Good news for Silly Sly Guy is that he has DRS as a car in front, or did. Be interesting to see if it opens up for him. No, it doesn't. He doesn't have the timer, so Netsky will close in on the car in front of him very quickly. No boost being made further ahead. Netsky closes the gap to Silly Sly Guy. As Silly Sly Guy loses out on DRS, he will need that. As you can see, it's chopping and changing between the 1 second mark. Netsky's put him under all sorts of pressure. Netsky wants podium in the feature and podium in the sprint, which is what he showed so many times last season. Is he ready to make a move here? No, he's not. He's going to wait. And he's putting him under immense amount of pressure. I can tell you now that I would not want Netsky behind me with 3 laps to go. 3.5. Netsky now looking ambitious. Is Jay Wizzy feeling the same? Plenty of ERS in hand, taking a wider exit into this car than Vapor Trench. He's putting his ERS on, his DRS, he's not going to use it now. He may be able to get past without it. Vapor Trench isn't going to defend the inside. Jay Wizzy will take it into turn 1. Will he keep his car parked? Vapor Trench has the position, cuts across to take the inside line. That's good defending from Vapor Trench. Gets his car in the right position to hold the position. But that just lets these 2 behind in. So it's all heating up at the front. It's a 4-way battle at the moment. As we are on lap 27 of 29. It's flown by this race. And we are continuing to watch Jay Wizzy just get a little bit closer on the medium tyres. He's not feeling the effects of them, it seems. Putting them to good use, as is Netsky on the back of Silly Sly Guy. But Silly Sly Guy is, as you can see, closing in. YOLO gets another penalty. It's not been the cleanest race from him today. He's already had 3 cars out of this race. As we begin the penultimate lap here at Bahrain for round 1 of CSGB action. Will Jay Wizzy get the move done this time? Will he? He's ahead early. All he needs to pick his brake zone and get the exit. And I'll tell you what, he has done that, but Vapor Trench has also had a crash, and Netsky got to P2. Vapor Trench once above us, nearly locked up or spun out, which has pushed Silly Sly Guy back into P4, where he already... No, he was in P3. So Vapor Trench has made a mistake there and cost himself a position, 2 positions. And Silly Sly Guy won, but has allowed Netsky through from P4 to P2. So Netsky will love that, as we now have 1.5 laps left. And tell you what, Netsky is in for a chance of getting a win here because he is in DRS range of Jay Wizzy. He will have 2 goes at the driver. Jay Prentice is not happy. We have a Ferrari round. It's Noah. What's happened here? The deadly turn 7 is proven that way yet again. As we begin the last lap of the session today, Neski trying to rein in Jay Wizzy. Jay Wizzy would love this win if he can hold on to this. But Neski, look how close he is now. Both on the medium tyres. Vapor Trench still ahead of City Sly Guy. Them two are fighting. They're locked into wheels. City Sly Guy goes, I want that position more than you, and he takes it. After a mistake earlier from Vapor Trench, costing position, he's taken the position back, and he wants that podium more than anything. Neski now looking to go around the outside of turn 6 on the Ferrari. Not quite there, looking for a switchback. It's great, a little bit of oversteer. Jay Wizzy holding him out on the outside of turn 7. Will we be down the inside of turn number 8? Netski's going for it, I tell you, he's doing it. Netski pushes the Ferrari wide. Ferrari stays around the outside of the track. I'm not sure if that's an illegal overtake or not, but he had to go round out there. They were banging, they were bashing. Netski's going to fake around the outside. What's going to happen here? Can Jay Wizzy park his car on the right position? City Sly Guy wants to get involved as well, but it will tell you, it will be Jay Wizzy to take the win, and Netski takes second. City Sly Guy right behind him 4th, and Vapor in 5th. A fantastic last few laps. Netski nearly pulled off an absolute masterclass there. Eklund takes 5th after winning the race earlier on today. Vapor Cobalt is joined by his Williams teammate in 6th and 7th. Tribe takes 8th. Oscar 9th. Noah 10th. And CSGB Rayman, what's happened there? CSGB Rayman takes 11th. Roomsy 12th. Lisa and Yola bring up the rear. An absolute mess, some of that. Great racing again. I tell you, I've got no voice left, so that's not good at all. It's been thrilling, but that is round 1 summed up, and Silly Sly Guy takes the win. Netski driver of the day, of course. What a fantastic drive from him. But let's run you through the final order then. Some big point distributions there. As it is, Jay Wizzy taking the lead and the win of the sprint race. Fantastic race from start to finish. Made those mediums work for him. Netski takes 2nd place. And City Sly Guy, who was not involved in a feature race, and started at the back of the grid here for the sprint race, finishes in a very respectable 3rd position after a good old fight with Vapor Trench. Few incidents there to be looked at, but there you have it. Jay Wizzy wins, followed by Netski, City Sly Guy, Vapor Trench, Eklund, Vapor Cobalt, Kazakh's Tribe, Oscar, Noah Jones, CSGB Rayman, Romsey, YOLO, Lisa, and that is it for the finishers of the race. YOLO got fastest lap, but that means absolutely nothing. Just that no one up in the top 10 gets an extra point. But that has been it here for round 1 of CSGB action, round Bahrain, short circuit. It's been thrilling, it's been brilliant, and had some amazing racing, but also some incidents to be looked at. Oh, that was a great race, and I am fully feeling the effects of it. But thank you all for tuning in. It has been amazing, and I thank you all for staying with me for this long old session. So yeah, that is that. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. I must say, sorry, before I go, tune in tomorrow night for CSGB F2 action. The exact same thing is happening. So yeah, it'll be good to watch. You will be joined by Bowers and James Dovey on commentary for that one. And yeah, enjoy that. Same time, 7 o'clock, followed by the sprint race. See you later. Goodbye. Thanks for watching. Like